The stars shone like scattered diamonds across the endless black of space. The small human ship, Aurora Runner, drifted slowly near the edge of an uncharted asteroid belt. Captain Aaron Hale adjusted the controls, his sharp eyes scanning the readings on the display. Space was quiet tonight, almost too quiet, and his instincts told him that silence often hid danger. Aaron was not a young man, but age had only sharpened his senses. Every scar on his hands told a story. Every wrinkle spoke of 1,000 missions. He was known among human and alien traders alike for his courage, his resourcefulness, and his ability to solve problems that no one else could. Tonight, he was alone, except for the humming AI aboard his ship. "All systems stable, Captain," the AI said in its calm, mechanical tone. "No anomalies detected within 5 kilometers." "Too quiet," Aaron muttered. He tightened his grip on the console and activated the long-range scanner. A blip appeared, faint, irregular, almost like a dying heartbeat. He frowned. Scanner shows a small ship. "Looks damaged. Life signs detected." "Multiple." Aaron's heart skipped a beat. Multiple life signs? In this part of space, that was rare. He immediately altered course, maneuvering the Aurora Runner toward the signal. The closer he got, the clearer the image became on the screen. It was a sleek alien craft, half-crumpled, drifting toward an asteroid. The life signs were faint, and one of them was unmistakably female. "Hang on," Aaron said. "I've got you." He suited up quickly, checking his plasma blaster and emergency tools. There was no time to waste. The alien ship was fragile. A small collision with the asteroid could destroy it completely. He maneuvered his shuttle alongside and tethered it to the alien vessel. Inside, the ship was dark, flickering with sparks. Alarms blinked erratically and the air was thin. Aaron's eyes adjusted to the low light. There, in the cockpit, he saw her, a tall, slender alien woman with silvery blue skin, her body trembling. Her hand rested on her swollen belly. She was heavily pregnant, and she looked terrified. Aaron's chest tightened. "Don't worry," he said softly. "I'm here. You're safe now." She turned to him, her large, almond-shaped eyes wide with fear and confusion. Her voice was melodic but strained, a series of clicks and hums that Aaron's translator struggled to convert. "You save me?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Aaron nodded. "Yes. I'm not leaving you here. Hold on. I'm getting you out." He moved quickly, scanning the ship for hazards. Sparks flew from exposed wires, smoke filled the corners, and the hull was groaning under stress. One wrong move and the entire ship could collapse. But Aaron was calm. Humans had a way of staying focused in impossible situations. Using a portable plasma cutter, he sliced open a section of the hull to access the cockpit fully. He reached in and gently lifted the alien woman. Careful not to jostle her belly, she instinctively clung to him, trembling, her hands pressing against his chest as if she knew he was her only chance. "Easy," Aaron murmured. "I've got you. Just relax." The ship shuddered violently as it collided with a small asteroid fragment. Sparks flew, metal screeched, and the lights flickered. Aaron's quick reflexes kept him steady. He used the tether to pull both of them back into his shuttle. Once inside, he secured her in a medical pod he had designed for emergencies. The pod was small, but it could stabilize a human or an alien long enough for treatment. He activated it, and soft lights bathed her in warmth. "You human?" she asked again, still in awe. "Yes," Aaron said. "Human. And right now I'm your guardian. I'll get you through this." Her eyes softened, a mixture of relief and disbelief. Aaron checked the life signs. Her pulse was racing but stable. The baby inside her was also strong, reacting to the gentle hum of the pod. "Good," Aaron muttered. "Just stay calm. You're going to be fine." As the shuttle glided away from the wreck, Aaron scanned the surrounding space. This part of the galaxy was rarely visited. Pirates, scavengers, and wild cosmic storms made it dangerous. But nothing would stop him from saving this woman and her unborn child. Humans had a way of facing impossible odds and winning. Hours passed. Erin monitored her condition carefully, adjusting the pod settings and checking her hydration and nutrition. She spoke little, still shaken, but he could see she was beginning to trust him. Finally, she gestured toward him, using her hands in a complex series of movements. The translator caught it. "Why did you help me?" Erin smiled a little wryly. "Because it's the right thing to do. Because someone has to. Because humans, we don't leave people behind." Her eyes glimmered. Even though she could not fully understand him, she felt the sincerity in his words. There was a power in humans, something beyond strength or technology. Erin's courage, his quick thinking, his compassion, all of it radiated like a light she had never known. Days passed. Erin flew them to a remote planetary outpost where both humans and aliens traded. The alien woman's condition worsened during the journey. At one point, a sudden meteor shower forced Erin to take evasive maneuvers, and the pod rocked violently. She gasped, clutching her belly. "Hold on!" he shouted. "I've got you!" Using his knowledge of space mechanics and alien biology, he had read extensively about different species. Erin stabilized the pod. He soothed her, talking softly, even though he didn't know her language completely. There was a connection forming between them, a bond that needed no words. When they finally landed on the outpost, Erin carried her from the shuttle to the medical bay. Alien doctors were skeptical at first. Humans were often underestimated, but even they could see the skill and care he had taken. "You did well," one alien doctor admitted grudgingly, observing the stable vitals on the monitors. Erin nodded, brushing off the praise. Just doing what had to be done. That night, as the woman rested, Erin stayed outside her room watching over her. He was not used to this kind of responsibility, not just for life, but for life that was fragile and unknown to him. And yet, he felt a stirring of pride and determination. Humans always rose to challenges. That was what made them remarkable. Far above, in the dark, distant stars seemed to shine a little brighter, as if the universe itself acknowledged the bravery of a single human saving a life against impossible odds. And Erin Hale knew this was only the beginning. Soon he would face even greater challenges, challenges that would test his courage, his mind, and his humanity itself. But for now, the alien woman was alive. Her baby was alive, and he had proven that a human alone and outnumbered by the unknown could still make a difference. Somewhere deep in her mind, the woman felt a strange recognition, a sense that this human was no ordinary being. He had saved her when no one else could, and perhaps in the future he would save even more, not just her, but an entire world. And so as the night passed quietly over the outpost, Erin Hale sat silently, gazing at the stars. He did not know what the future held, but he knew one thing with certainty. Humans were extraordinary. They were brave, clever, and relentless. And tonight, one human had made all the difference. The planetary outpost was quiet in the early morning light. Erin Hale walked through the narrow corridors of the medical bay, his boots echoing softly against the metal floor. The alien woman, whose name he had learned was Lyra, lay resting in the pod he had carefully stabilized. Her breathing was steady now, but her large eyes still reflected a cautious wariness. Erin had stayed by her side the entire night, watching monitors, adjusting the pod, and thinking about the journey ahead. Space was unpredictable, and he knew that challenges were only just beginning. But he also knew something else. Humans had a way of turning impossible situations into triumphs. He entered the medical bay, and Lyra lifted her head slightly. "You awake," she said, her voice still melodic but stronger now. "Yes," Erin replied, smiling. "And you look stronger than last night." Lyra nodded, a small smile playing at her lips. She gestured toward her belly and then at Erin, and the translator finally caught the meaning. "Your help saved them." Erin's chest tightened. "Yes, and I will continue to help. That is my job now." She seemed to study him, as if trying to understand how one human could care so much for someone so different. Humans, she realized, were strange creatures, clever, fearless, and kind even when faced with fear themselves. She had heard stories of humans being reckless and selfish, but this one, he was extraordinary. Days passed and the outpost became a temporary home. Lyra's pregnancy progressed and Aaron made sure she had everything she needed. He arranged for alien doctors to monitor her health, but he also added his own human ingenuity. He modified the pod to simulate the gravity and temperature conditions she needed, mixing human technology with alien life support systems. It was tedious work, but Aaron never complained. Humans thrived on challenges. They could think fast, act fast, and solve problems when others hesitated. And tonight the stars outside seemed to shine just a little brighter for the small acts of care he gave. Then one calm morning, the moment came. Lyra's body tensed and she let out a soft, urgent sound. Aaron's eyes sharpened. "It's time," he said calmly, setting aside the tools he had been using. He had read extensively about alien birthing practices, though nothing prepared him for the intensity of watching an alien birth. He stayed focused, his hands steady, guiding and supporting her. The first cries came, high and melodic. Twins. 2 tiny lives had entered the galaxy, and both seemed perfect, strong, and alert. Aaron gently placed them in the specially prepared pods, ensuring their warmth and safety. Lyra gasped with relief, tears glistening in her large eyes. "They, alive," she said softly, her voice trembling with awe. "Yes," Aaron replied, his own eyes moist, "and they will stay alive. That's my promise." From the very first moments, the twins displayed an unusual awareness. They seemed to react to Aaron's presence, their small heads turning toward him as if they recognized something familiar. He watched carefully, fascinated. Humans often had instincts that went beyond mere survival, and it seemed these alien children had sensed something extraordinary in him. Over the following days, Aaron helped Lyra adjust to life as a mother. He taught her how to care for the twins using a mixture of alien methods and his own human experience. He improvised feeding techniques, designed gentle exercise routines for the infants, and even constructed a small play area inside the medical bay. The twins grew quickly, their eyes bright and curious. It became clear that they were not ordinary children. They seemed to understand instructions even before Aaron spoke, following his gestures and mimicking his movements. He realized with quiet amazement that they were recognizing him not just as a protector, but as a guide, a master in the ways of the world. Lyra watched this bond with wonder. "They know you," she said one evening, her voice hushed. "Before they know anything, they feel your presence." Aaron nodded, smiling gently. "Humans, we have a way of connecting. We think fast, we act fast. We can solve problems, protect those we care about. They sense that in me." It was not just intelligence or strength. It was the human spirit, relentless, fearless, compassionate. The twins instinctively trusted him, and in that trust, Aaron saw a reflection of what humans could offer the galaxy: courage, ingenuity, and hope. But not everyone welcomed humans so easily. Word of Aaron's presence and the twins' unusual behavior spread through the outpost and beyond. Alien traders and residents whispered about the human who had saved a life, and now seemed to command the children. Some were impressed, others wary. One day, a delegation of aliens arrived, their expressions guarded. Their leader, a tall, silver-scaled female named Vashara, addressed Aaron. "You have cared for our kind," she said, her tone formal. "And yet, your influence on the children is unusual. They recognize you as master. This is not our custom. How do you justify this?" Aaron stood tall, meeting her gaze calmly. "I don't want power over them. I don't need it. I only want to keep them alive and safe. If that makes me a master in their eyes, then I will take that responsibility. Humans don't seek control. We seek to help, to survive, and to make a difference." Veshara studied him carefully. There was something in his eyes and his calm confidence that made her pause. Humans were unpredictable. They were capable of courage and cleverness beyond what her species could imagine. This one, he was remarkable. Over the following weeks, Aaron continued his work. He taught the twins basic gestures, small signs, and communication methods. They absorbed everything, learning quickly, demonstrating intelligence that was beyond their age. Even Lyra marveled at how fast they adapted. At the same time, Aaron began to prepare for the future. The galaxy was not safe, and these children, now recognized as unusually gifted, would face dangers. He improved the security systems around the outpost, designed small escape pods, and created contingency plans. Every detail mattered. Humans were resourceful. They planned for every possibility, thinking ahead when others could not. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon of the outpost planet, Aaron stood outside, watching the twins play under Lyra's careful supervision. They laughed, their sounds melodic and pure, and they looked toward him every few moments as if seeking guidance, reassurance, and connection. Lyra approached him, her expression a mixture of gratitude and curiosity. "You human, strange, powerful, why care so much?" Aaron smiled softly. "Because someone has to. Because it's the right thing. Humans, we have a way of facing impossible odds, and we don't turn away from those who need help. And because I know they are special and I can help them grow." Lyra nodded slowly, understanding more than words could say. She sensed that this human, in his quiet, determined way, was unlike any she had ever met. He had saved her life. He had saved the twins. And now he was guiding them in ways that no one else could. The aliens of the outpost began to notice too. Slowly, respect began to replace skepticism. Traders, medics, and even skeptical elders watched as the human solved problems, cared for the children, and remained calm in crises. There was something extraordinary about him, something that spoke to the strength, intelligence, and courage of humans. Aaron himself did not seek recognition. He did not boast of his deeds. He simply acted calmly and decisively, knowing that humans had a gift, the ability to rise to challenges, to protect life, and to inspire loyalty and trust. And the twins? The twins had already recognized this. They had chosen him as their guide, their protector, their master. That night, as the outpost quieted and the stars glittered overhead, Aaron sat near the twins' pods. They slept soundly, small chests rising and falling in perfect rhythm. Lyra rested nearby, her hand brushing gently across their tiny heads. Aaron's mind wandered to the future. The galaxy was vast and full of dangers. There would be challenges, threats, and battles. But he knew one thing with certainty. Humans could make a difference. Humans could face the unknown and prevail. Humans could be heroes even among aliens who doubted them. And as he looked at the sleeping twins, he felt a quiet sense of pride. They were not just lives he had saved, they were lives he could guide, shape, and protect. And in doing so, he would show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of: courage, intelligence, and unwavering compassion. Yes, he thought, humans were extraordinary. And in this quiet corner of space, far from the bustling colonies and crowded cities, one human had already begun to leave a mark that could change the lives of others forever. Word count: 500.